Hello all, welcome to Techno. In the first episode of Introduction to Computer Networks, today we are going to see some of the basic terms, what they mean, and how computer networks actually works. Okay, so this is what's today's agenda. So let's get started. So first of all, let's just say that in the entire computer networks course, we'll be using the term computer. We'll say computer is a host. Okay, for this entire course, we'll use computer as a host terminology. The next thing is, say for example, this is our network. It is your network. Okay, this is your network, and this is Google's network. Now, when I want to connect, see, wherever, if I have two computers and if I want to connect them, there are internal ways of doing that. But if I want to connect my computer with the Google server, then I need an external connection, that is internet, to connect it, and then I need an external network. So let's say that we have this external network over here, which will connect our computer to the requested server's network. Okay, so let's say that if I want to browse www.google.com, now this is known as a domain name, domain of Google. www.google.com is domain of Google. Now what I'll do is I'll request for via internet. I have been connected from my network to Google's network. So now what I'll do, let's say I've been connected. So I'll request for www.google.com. Don't worry, we are going to see each and every step in detail. Right now, I'm just giving you a brief idea what actually happens inside our network system. Okay. So I'll just send a request that I want this network page, that is www.google.com, this web page. Okay, not web page, web page. Okay, so our system does three things. What it will do, I just erase it this one here so that it clears out space for me. It does three things. First one is it will identify the network. Identify the network. Second, it will identify the host. And third, it will identify the process. Now you might be wondering what is this process, host, everything, like how does it connect? So let's look into that. Let's see. So let's suppose this is a network over here, okay? This is a network. This is my host. Host, what do I mean by host? This is a computer, okay? This is the host and this is process. Okay, over here, this is process. There are many processes in a computer and there are many hosts. There are many processes in a host, that is a computer, and there are many computers or hosts in a network. Okay, so network is basically a superset. Now see, for every computer we need to identify, okay, that okay, which network. If you say that if you're referring to two people, you need to know their names, right? So when you're referring to all the networks, hosts and the processes, you should know an individual unique name for them. So here for network, we'll identify them by IP addresses, unique IP addresses. For host, we'll use MAC addresses. We'll discuss everything in detail. Right now, for process, we'll use port number or socket number. Okay, this is what we are going to use. Now, when we are talking about IP addresses, okay, when we want to identify a network that, okay, this is the network I want, this is the IP address I want. But what do I have over here? I only have this www.google.com. I cannot remember all the IP addresses of all the systems. We'll discuss how IP addresses are noted, how many characters are they, how they are specified, how they are named. Everything we'll discuss in detail. But let's see that IP address is the address of a network. As we have our address of home, similarly, we have an IP address of our network. And right now, I don't know the network name. I only know the domain name, that is www.google.com. But to reach that domain, we need IP address, which I don't know. So for that, what we are going to do is, in our internet, in our network, what we are provided with is something like what we have, or what we can do is, see, I only have domain, right? I don't have anything else. I only have domain name, and I want to reach the other network, so I need its IP address. So to convert a domain name to an equivalent IP address, we need something called as DNS server. What's the full form of DNS? That is domain name server. Domain name server, DNS server. Okay. So this is what I required, DNS server. Now, how do I get DNS server? Then DNS server is provided by our ISP. I'll write over here. DNS server is provided by our ISP. Now, what is ISP? ISP is Internet Service Provider. ISP is nothing but Internet Service Provider. Okay, so let's just recall. Okay, so I have my network and my PC, which is requesting for www.google.com, and I need to reach to Google's network. Just a second. I need to reach to Google's network over here. Okay, now in Google's network, they have a host server, and in that host server, there are many processes. So for going to request for www.google.com, I require the specific IP address of that server. So for that, we use domain name server, which will convert domain name into IP address. Now, once we have IP address, we know that which network we want to refer. After that, we have to find the actual host, that is, we'll find it by MAC address. And then we have to find the process, which we'll find by port number or socket number. Okay. And then we'll request for the particular website, that is www.google.com. So in the previous coming lectures, we'll deeply look into how all this works and what are IP addresses in detail, what is MAC addresses, how they are referred, how they are named, how to name port number, where to find it, how to exactly connect, how to get the port number, IP address, and MAC address. Then what exactly is DNS, what exactly is IP, ISP, how they work, how they are interlinked, and everything, and all the topics of computer networks, as well as some MCQs of the same. Okay, so in the coming lectures, we are going to look into it. One more thing, DNS server is provided by ISP. ISP is Internet Service Provider, whereas DNS domain name server. So that is all for today's lecture. Thank you for watching this lecture. Please do like, share, and subscribe our channel, and press the bell button if you have not so, to get the latest video updates for our channel. Thank you.